Hey guys, it's Tetsu Yoroi. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Quick announcement before we start the video. There's actually a like goal on this video. It is 250 likes, and if the like goal doesn't get reached, I will simply put a poll on my community tab and of which series should replace this one. But yeah, so without further ado, roll the intro. Five days later, everybody was in the ring, while a sickly-looking man was explaining the rules. "Okay," Hayate said. "Here are the fights. Sasuke Uchiha vs. Yoroi Akado. Choji Akimichi vs. Shino Aburame. Cough cough. Mizumi Tsurugi vs. Sabaku no Kankuro. Sakura Haruno vs. Ino Yamanaka. Cough cough. Tenten vs. Sabaku no Tamari. Naruto Uzumaki vs. Kiba Inuzuka, cough cough, and Hinata Hyuga vs. Neji Hyuga, and lastly, Sabaku no Gaara vs. Rock Lee. Shikamaru Naruto automatically advanced to the next round because he doesn't have an opponent. Oh, side note, Naruto killed those two, Saku and Kin, in the last video, if you remember. That's why they're not on the second exam. And the coughing is because, you know, like, Hayate's sick and, like, he coughed, like, every 2 sentences. But, yeah, back to the video. Match run-throughs. Sasuke beat Mizumi easier than he did in canon because he didn't have the curse mark, which means he could use Ninjutsu. And that kind of really limited him in the canon, but, yeah. Shino beat Choji because he put his bugs on Choji and just had them eat his chakra. Mizumi Tsurugi vs. Sabaku no Kankuro. Sakura Haruno vs. Ino Yamanaka went pretty much the same as in canon because, like, nothing really changed. And Tamari vs. Tenten also went the same as in canon. Yeah. When it finished, Naruto was already at the top of the stairs. Naruto got to the arena a few seconds before Kiba and pulled out a book on jutsu making and started reading. "Hey Naruto, just give up right now. We both know you can't win," Kiba said arrogantly. But Naruto didn't respond or show any indication that he was listening. He just kept on reading his book. "Did you hear me?" Kiba said, getting angry. "You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to show you how big the difference between us is. I'm going to make you beg for mercy." Naruto still didn't respond. "Naruto, don't drag this out. As rude as he is, I don't think torturing him would make people consider that you're in the right state of mind to become a chunin," Neji said from the stands. Naruto and Neji had a sort of weird relationship where they never actually sparred together, but they sometimes did different things together, like train. "Sure it does," Naruto said. "I can torture him until he forfeits the match. In addition to that, torturing showed skills of information gathering. What do you think Ibiki does? Calmly ask for information?" Naruto replied as he, still not looking up from his book. "Just finish the match quickly," Neji replied. "Match begin," Hayate called. "You think you can beat me?" Kiba laughed. Naruto just put his book away and pointed his index finger at him. He yanked it back and Kiba went flying towards Naruto. Naruto's left hand curled into a fist before shooting forward to meet Kiba's face. There was a meaty thud and a sickening crack heard as soon as Naruto's fist met Kiba's face. Naruto had broken Kiba's jaw. Kiba fell to the floor unconscious at Naruto's feet. "I guess you're right. You did prove how big the gap between us was. And unfortunately for you, it wasn't in your favor," Naruto said as he was walking back to the stands. Neji and Hinata then went down to the arena after Naruto reached the stands. Neji opened his mouth to talk, but Naruto cut him off. "I must stop you right there, Neji. As much as I like a good sob story, you never let it bother you before, so just get this done. Some of us would like to do other things," Naruto said. Neji just grunted in annoyance before he got into his fighting stance. "What gives you the right to underestimate Hinata like that?" Kurenai said angrily, looking at Naruto. Naruto glanced away from the arena and noticed that every one of the conscious Konoha 12 members, except for Hinata and Neji, who were in the ring, were listening, along with the Jonin senseis. What gives Kiba the right to underestimate me? Yet I didn't see you reprimanding him, Naruto retorted. But nothing against Hinata. She is quite nice, but an Iwa shinobi would sooner say the fourth Hokage is a great person than her beating Neji. She probably won't even block any of Neji's tenketsu, and if she does, at most 1 or 2. Then what you doing right now? Kunai said, with superiority feasibly heard in her voice. Naruto glanced back towards the arena, and then back at Kunai with a "you don't see it" look. You know, for a Jonin, you're not very observant, Naruto said, shocking all of the Jonin and the Konoha 12 members listening to his and Kunai's conversation. If she were actually closing his tenketsu, his arms would be limp right now. The reason why none of her strikes are working is because he already closed the tenketsu on her arm, making it impossible for her to direct chakra there. He left enough open where she can still use her arms, but she can't actually pour chakra into them, which makes her gentle fist style completely useless, as it requires chakra in the arms to use. A few seconds later, Neji explained exactly what Naruto had said to Hinata. Wow, great job, Naruto said sarcastically. You finally finished, after forever. But you have to give it to Hinata. She managed to close one of your tenketsu, which is one more tenketsu than any of your spars. Neji just grunted, and Hinata smiled slightly that Neji didn't call her weak and fell to the floor. Before she hit the floor, Neji caught her and somewhat gently lowered her to the floor. Wow, folks, looks like Neji isn't as cold as he appears to be. He actually cares. Neji just growled in annoyance and started walking to the stands. What are you to Neji? Kunai asked. Probably the closest thing he'll have to a friend, Naruto replied. You're not my friend! Neji yelled in annoyance from the stairs. And why do you keep on bothering me? Keep telling yourself that. It's because you're the only Hyuga that's actually manageable and somewhat fun to be around. And annoying people is what I do, Naruto said, with a mock bow. The Rock Lee and Gaara fight went the same as in canon. When all the fights were finished, Hiruzen went down to the exam and told everybody that the third exam would be in 1 month and that they should train in the meantime. See you at Ichiraku in 3 hours, Neji, Naruto said, as everyone was leaving before disappearing in a card body flicker. Neji grunted in annoyance and kept on walking. Anyway guys, sorry for the shorter video this time. I didn't really have much time to write it, but yeah, so I'll see you all next time.